joints right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your ism, right? Play this shit right here and resuscitate your pimpin' and get you right back on your mission, right? For you hoes, just that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here and spark up your hoeing and get you right back going, you dig? Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun for fun. They mash for hours, hooker baths, not showers. Bright and early, down and dirty for the cash and power. They gotta get the cash, the towers, and reach it all to a pimp. In my position, I'm all but exempt. These bras not wimps, I'm like them renegade bitches. BFFs with tricks but never getting paid riches. Grenade bitches, they dynamite, blowing up on the pimpin' and missing when the time is right. But when they life gets strife, they see pimpin' shining bright, but they action is life without. Bitch, one strike you out. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. See, that's the difference, nigga. The pimpin' mashin' for these riches, nigga. Nothing like you master magician niggas. Smoking mirrors with your game, hella extras to reflect the opposite appearance of a lame. Bitches coming from y'all, I can't rock with those. Tender-footed and rooted in them doctor shows. Soft shoe rituals, minute residuals. Papers on life support, your loots and critical. Something I learned about when running my earned route. And working with turnouts is murdering burnouts. Cause knocking one of you niggas for a scarred bitch. That's knocking one of you niggas for some garbage. I'm heartless regardless, empty with sympathy, but banked up to the max with pimpathy. No remedy for me, I'm like this. My life is vice grip, synced in permanent ink. You can't rewrite this. My blood type is P positive, beautifully deposited with a lot of it. I'm popping this shit, and when I pop it so hard I make a trapping ass bad bitch wanna hoe hard. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. Come on, pimpin', man, pop that shit. Show these sucker niggas they can't stop that shit. Let these hookers know if they wanna cop that shit. Treat the bag like it's hot, bitch, and drop that shit. Dig. And to you hoes, if you ever took a loss, bitch, show these bitches how to bounce back like a boss, bitch. Let them know that the best way to floss, bitch, is reach that paper to some pimpin' hoe and toss it. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. One of them joints right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your ism, right? Play this shit right here and resuscitate your pimpin' and get you right back on your mission, right? For you hoes, just that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here and spark up your hoeing and get you right back going, you dig? Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun. Okay, here we go, man. Right back at it.
But getting back to this game that I never left.
Yeah, man. Getting back to this game that we never left, you dig? Yes, sir, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and tapping in with a pimp. Hey, if my mic is too loud, let me know. Because when I watch the videos on the playback, at certain points it seems like my mic was kind of low, like it could be a little louder. So I turned it up a little bit. But y'all let me know if it sounds like too loud to the point where it's distorted or, you know, it's peaking or whatever. Let me know so I can get it right. You dig? Hold on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we tapped in on Instagram and we tapped in on YouTube. You dig? Welcome to the Instagram family. Welcome to the YouTube family. Instagram people, this live on Instagram is only going to be an hour long. So if we end up going over an hour, which we very often do, you can go ahead and continue this live over on YouTube. If you stay here to the end and you want to keep watching after the end, go on over to YouTube, you dig? But yeah, man, we right back at it. And we going to chop this game, man. Y'all already know, wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button. The icon that look like that, you dig? And y'all already know my first order of business. I got to hydrate my game. Put some of this good old love in my body. Yeah. Yeah, man, we're going to talk about campaigning in the strip club, campaigning in the shake joint, you dig? Yeah, man. We going to ruffle some feathers, of course. But like the boy on Harlem Nights said, don't take this ass whooping personally. Yeah, don't take this biting personally, man. You know, if anything, take it as constructive criticism if some of the things I say that are unpimpish just so happen to apply to you. Yeah. Let's see what. Come on, man. Y'all go ahead and get them feet wiped off at the door, man. It's 74 people in here so far, but only 42 of y'all done wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain, man. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button. Yeah, man. So let's chop this game, man. Let's talk pimping, man. Yeah, so campaigning in the strip club. Listen, man. Of course, a lot of us in the game who do our best to pimp by the book and, you know, ain't got no funny shit in our campaign, right? There's a strong urge to want to quickly say who is and who ain't, who is this and who's not this, right? But just being non-biased and understanding that my way ain't always the best way and my way is definitely not the only way, you know, I can't just take the P from certain individuals. But I will say this: certain individuals, while they may still have the P, they be doing a lot of T type activities to knock abroad, man. Especially in that strip club. Now, I want to give a disclaimer too, right? Because I know it's a lot of square guys in the building. Shout out to the square guys. But listen, the things that I'm talking about don't really apply to you, because you got to keep in mind, because I already know what's going to happen. You're going to hear certain things that the pimping goes into the strip club with, because I'm going to break that down. I'm going to break down the tools the pimping goes into the strip club with the campaign with, that is contrary to what a square or a trick will go into the club to meet their objective with. And you're going to hear some of these tools that the pimping come in with, and you're going to be like, damn, that's cool. Because the pimping ain't spending no money in the strip club, and they still get to have their way with the ladies. But you got to understand, it doesn't apply to you, because we going in there for different things. Y'all going in there for the pleasure. We going in there to move something, to knock a broad, right? We going in there to build something with the broad. And, it's going to become more personal and business. We want to introduce them to something greater, right? Which is a connection with us. You just want to go in there to get your rocks off. You want to go in there to get a lap dance. You want to go in there maybe to go to the VIP, but whatever it is that you're going in there for, it all boils down to pleasure. That's why you go to the strip club. And, the pimping don't spend money in the strip club in the way that you do, simply because, again, our objectives are different. And spending money is really against our religion. It's contrary to what we believe. So it's not that we just not spending money just because it's cool, and it's like a way to get over on the club or get over on the broad. It's like a thing that, oh yeah, I went in the club and I moved this chick up out of there and I ain't spend no money. The money is the last thing that we thinking about as far as like spending. We don't go in there with the mindset of I'm a get as much as I can out of here without spending anything. So, and again, like I said last night on the live, the trick, y'all pay the young ladies to leave. When you go into the strip club, you just going in there to have fun. And, whatever money that you pay to have fun in the strip club is a nominal expense. It's a small expense in the grand scheme of things. Just imagine the expense of being in a relationship, because, that's what the pimping is doing, but the relationship is going to be totally different than yours, because you're not trying to get money out the broad. You just want to have fun with her. But if you're trying to cut corners, you're going to most likely try to get more personal with her. And it's just messy. It's just a lot easier to pay the woman for the lap dance or pay the woman to go into the VIP and have your fun. It's much easier to do that. So don't think that it's a bad thing that you going into the strip club and spending money. You saving yourself a whole lot of trouble by spending that money in the strip club, and you having fun. Everything comes with a price. See, even the pimping is paying a price. We just not paying a monetary price, right? When we go into the strip club, we paying a price. We paying several different prices, but the price is just not monetary. And really, if you want to be real, the price that we paying is much greater than the price that you paying. It just don't come out of our pocket. A lot of it comes out of our mind, which in turn comes out of our mouths, and we spending a whole lot of time and energy. How they say pimping ain't easy. It's a cliche, but it's the truth though, right? So I just wanted to give that disclaimer for you squares in here. When you hear me break down how the pimping go in there and do certain things and make shit happen, don't get no bright ideas that you're going to be able to use pimp tactics to go in there strictly to get a lap dance for free or get into the VIP for free and all that. Don't even think like that, because we not going in there for that. Pimping ain't going in there for no lap dance. Pimping ain't going in there to get into the VIP section with the lady and all of that. We not doing that, right? Pimping ain't. Now you got some dudes, there's supposed to be some pimping, and they use some of the same tactics that y'all use. And they might have both objectives. They got the objective that you got to have fun, and they got the objective that the pimping got to have funds. They trying to have their cake and eat it too. So let's get to it, right? Many of you have heard me say often that the best way to identify some pimping is by his nature and his ability to do what the average motherfucker can't do, right? So the pimping is a master at doing what the average person can't do, right? And see, anybody can go into the strip club and pay a woman for her attention. Anybody with some money can do that. Anybody with some money can go into the strip club and pay a woman for her time. Anybody with some money can go into the strip club and pay a woman for her pleasure. There doesn't have to be anything unique about you. You could be old, you could be young, you could be tall, you could be short, you could be fat, you could be skinny, you could be deformed, you could be disabled, handicapped, you might not be able to walk, talk, whatever. As long as you got the right price, you can get a woman's time and attention in the strip club, right? So that's not unique. And the pimping wants to be unique in a woman's eyes when he goes into the strip club, right? The pimping wants to be the most unique individual in the building in the eyes of this woman when he goes into the strip, or these women when he goes into the strip club, right? So that alone, the fact that the pimping ain't spending no money in there the way that you spending money in there, that alone is going to distinguish the pimping from every other guy in the building, right? And then his presentation, his campaign, the way he dressed, the cologne that he got on, how he groomed himself, you dig? Just his whole presentation is going to be another thing that's unique about him, right? So he's going in there, unlike you, for pleasure. He's going in there, unlike you, to spend money to meet his objective. He's going in there, unlike you, being the flyest thing without wings in the building, right? With his presentation. So along with that, another thing that the average motherfucker can't do is meet his objective with a woman simply by talking, simply by his conversation, simply by the things that's proceeding from his lips. Having his way with a young lady, right? Getting her to see things his way and getting her to believe what he believes to the point where she want to align herself with him, right? Because he's painting a picture to her in such a way that, you know, she can see the benefit of her adopting this vision, right? This is what the pimping doing. And again, this is what the average motherfucker can't do, right? So, the pimping is coming in there again, not spending no money in order to have his way. He's not throwing money on the stage. You know, he might tip the drink lady if the lady bring him a drink or something like that, or he might tip the bartender, you know, if he buying a drink. But, you know, that's just common courtesy. You know, pimping ain't gonna be in there, you know, on some cheapskate shit and buying drinks and not tipping the bartender. It's just, you know, it's just proper etiquette, right? So pimping, he ain't gonna have no problem tipping a drink server or a bartender or something like that. You know, or he might tip the dude at the door if the dude at the door, you know, help him skip the line. He might have a relationship with the guy at the door and they see him, oh, what's up, man? You know, come on, man. I got you. You know, of course, he gonna if somebody is taking care of the pimping gonna take care of that somebody that's taking care of them. So, you know, it's one hand washing the other. So he might tip the guy at the door for helping him skip the line if there is a line. You know, he gonna tip the bartender, the drink server, things like that. But pimping ain't throwing money on the stage at all. Pimping that's going in there to pimp, he's not throwing money on the stage. Now I know what you're gonna say, freeze, but you know, when I was young in the game, man, you know, one of them famous pimps, you know, I was up in the club campaigning with him, man, and, you know, he been all in the DVDs and the documentaries and all in the videos with the rappers and all this old type of stuff, man, and, you know, he done been in movies and he done did this and he done did that, and everybody respect him. He done won trophies at the Players Ball, you know, everybody across country know him and respect him, P, and he was in there throwing money on the stage. Hey, man, I don't give a damn who it is. And I don't give a damn what your relationship with them is or how you see them or what regard. Hey, listen, it's people that I love dearly that are guilty of this shit. And they not exempt neither. You know, shout out to the pimping, man, who go into the strip club and ain't paying for dances, ain't throwing money on the stage, and still going in the club knocking a bitch. Yeah, man, shout out to the pimping that's doing what the average motherfucker can't do. But like I said, man, yes, you do have guys that's sending bras and breaking bras and living off the earnings and so on and so forth that will go in the club and throw money on the stage. We'll go in the club and pay for a dance or, you know, pay for a woman's time in the VIP section. You know what I mean? You have guys that do this type of stuff, right? And these are what we call trick tactics. I just got to call a spade because, again, anybody can do that to get a woman's attention because you already know what happens. Those of y'all who done been to the strip club, which I'm pretty sure most of y'all, men and women, have been to the strip club. When you throw money to somebody on the stage, once they get done with they set, what do? They come down off the stage and they come speak to everybody who threw some money on the stage to them. They might say, thank you, I appreciate you, or, you know, would you like a dance? You know what I mean? And see, that's another thing. Pimping, we not going to put ourselves in position to be treated like a trick. Because when you come with trick tactics, the woman is automatically going to see you like a trick. If you throwing money on the stage, you're introducing yourself as a trick. It don't matter how many chicks you done broke on and how much you done broke them for and how much money and things and materials you done had in the game. If you come into the club and your introduction to a chick is throwing money to her on the stage, you're introducing yourself as a trick. I don't give a damn who say what. Freeze told you that. And you know what I mean? Argue with your mama because there's not even an argument with that. You know what I mean? Argue with a lawyer or something like that. You know what I mean? What Dolph say? She like to argue, so I sent that bitch to law school. Go to law school, man, if you want to argue with somebody, man. Don't argue with this pimping and the facts, though. You dig? If you throw money on the stage, you introducing yourself as a trick. So you can't be mad if the chick come down from the stage and says, thank you for that. Thank you for, you know, tipping me. Would you like a dance? Would you like to go to the VIP? I can show you a really good time. And she rubbing her hands all on your shoulders and all that, you know what I mean, while she talking to you and she complimenting you, talking about, ooh, you smell good, and ooh, da-da-da-da-da, ooh, I would love to give you a dance and all this other type of shit, man. Hell no. Pimping ain't setting itself up for that, man. No, man, we don't like being talked to like that, man. That's the worst thing. That's the thing that boils a pea's blood, is a woman approaching him like a trick. Even if it's unwarranted, even if the pimping didn't do anything for a woman to get at him in that way, because a lot of chicks, especially in today's times, because they don't know how to separate game from lame, they make that mistake a lot. So, you know, but nonetheless, whether it's on accident or intentional or whatever the case may be, a mistake or not, you know, we don't like that. We don't like being approached like a trick and being treated like a trick. You know, we ain't with none of that. So, that's the reason why we not throwing money on the stage. We not paying for dances, and we for sure damn sure ain't paying to get into no damn VIP. You dig? Pimping ain't doing that. Like I said, pimping is doing what the average individual can't do. Now, y'all know me, right? I don't drink. So, and I don't smoke. So if I'm in the strip club, I'm not buying bottles. You know, the only time I may buy a bottle, and the only time I may buy a bottle is if I'm with my game and it's her birthday or something, and she want to have a drink and she want to buy a bottle or something like that, I might do that for my game. But just on some like me in the club campaigning, doing my thing, and I don't drink, so I'm not gonna buy a bottle for myself. So and I don't smoke, so I'm not gonna buy a hookah, because a lot of the strip clubs nowadays they got the hookah in the club too. You could buy the hookah. I'm not buying no hookah, and I'm not buying no bottle. That's just me, right? But for the P's that do drink and smoke, a lot of times guys will buy a bottle or buy some hookah because they know it's a chick magnet. They know that if they spending money on a bottle, and the bottle might cost $200-$300, whatever, even if it only costs $150, however much it costs, pimpin' know that if he buys a bottle, 9 times out of 10, bitches is gonna try to flood his table and try to get some money out of him some type of way, or at the very least try to get a free drink out of him. P's know this, and they use that as a tactic to get the woman's attention, as we say in the game, the catching come before the hanging. So they might use that to catch a broad before they can hang the broad, right, with some game. So again, to each their own, but I don't really consider that a trick tactic, especially if you're actually gonna drink the bottle yourself, or you smoking the hookah yourself, or whatever the case may be, right? If you're buying that for you primarily, and you just so happen to get the stripper's attention, as a result of that, then hey, that's still within the realms of pimping. So pimp ain't gonna look at that as like no trick tactics, right? But there's other there's other pimp tactics that the pimping be using in the club. These ain't really my tactics, but I have some partners that I've seen use certain tactics in the club, and it's not trick tactics. It's some game, but it's some slick shit, right? And I can't lie. I gotta call a spade a spade. You have some P's that use a little deception when they in the strip club. They have certain deceptive tactics that's not trick tactics, but it's deceptive, but it got a little splash of game in it, right? See, me, I don't have no deception with my game. I'm not going to deceive you into messing with me. I'm not going to deceive you into getting your attention. I ain't with none of that. You dig? But yeah, I got some partners, man. It's funny just thinking about it, because I got several different partners who got several different tactics that they use, and I can't lie, the shit be the shit be working, man. The little tactics that they be using, man. But see, me, so this is how Freeze coming into the strip club, right? Freeze coming up in there. I'm suited and booted. My grooming is, look like God just reached down from the heavens and touched the pimp. Facial hair is well groomed and in order. The hair is well groomed and in order. Waves again, looking like God just reached down and touched the pimp. So I'm coming in there like that, right? My presentation is all the way together. I'm looking good, smelling good, body smelling good, breath smelling good. Pimp don't smoke anything, and I don't drink alcohol, so I ain't got no funky ass alcohol breath. And even at times when I did used to drink and smoke, I'm not coming in the club with funky ass weed breath and funky ass alcohol breath. Nah, pimp ain't doing that. So everything is looking good, everything is smelling good. And again, when you come into the club like that, the pimping is the flyest thing in the building, right? Because most guys that come into the strip club, like I said, are coming in there to have a good time. So because they want to come in there and they want to feel everything, you know what I mean, when they get in that lap dance, you know, and they want the woman, they want that stripper to feel everything too, you know what I mean? When they get in that lap dance, or they want to, you know, have easy access to everything if they go into that VIP and have some fun in there. So with that being the case, most guys come into the strip club dressed casually and comfortably, right? They not coming in there 3-piece down, you know, they not coming in there suited and booted in most cases. Sometimes you have some guys that come in, but and then even if they do, they not doing it like the pimping. The pimping is doing it to the maximum in ways that the average square they just not gonna do it, right? So that alone is gonna distinguish the pimping. So that's how I'm coming in there. The way I come in there is 90% of the time is all eyes on me, right? And then, man, when they walk past the smell of pimp's colognes, they might not say nothing, but it's gonna smack them in the nose, and they gonna be like, "Damn, ooh wee, who is that shit? He smell good." Right? They might not say it with their mouth, but they saying it in their mind. So, you know, pimp making an impression like this. Like they say, like the old cliche goes, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So a pimp's first impression is everything in that strip club. So we coming in there, you know, that first impression is going to be immaculate. It's going to be memorable. It's going to be unforgettable, right? So, you know, everybody has different demeanors, and because people have different demeanors, you know, their response from the women might be different, right? Now me, I try to do something about it, but for some reason I hear a lot of women say like, "Oh, you look like you just be beating bitches up because I work out and all this old type of shit." And then my demeanor, the way I carry myself, I look real serious most of the time. Even when I try to smile, for some reason they just think I'm like this mean ass dude, right? So a lot of chicks be intimidated, and most chicks are, you know, too intimidated to come say something to me. See, people like Sinful, on the other hand, Sinful coming in there, of course, presentation immaculate, but Sinful just had like a more welcoming vibe than I do, you know, because Sinful, he smiles a lot, and you know, that smile is going, it's more, it makes you more welcoming, right? Even though chicks will be intimidated by Sinful as well by the way he presenting himself. When they see him smiling and everything, he look a little more relaxed. He look a little looser than I do. You know, even when I'm smiling, for some reason they just think I'm too serious. But whatever the case though, nonetheless, somebody is still gonna approach me and say something. And see, I like it that way, right? I like that I repel, you know, the ones that's intimidated to the point where they want to come say something, but they too scared, right? I kind of like that, because I like bold individuals, because I'm a bold individual. When I want to do something, I don't give a damn who's around, what's going on. If I want to do it, I'm going to do it, right? So I like bold individuals. So I like the bold chick that is on some like, you know, he fine as hell. If he reject me, he reject me. It is what it is, but I'm still going to go say something to him. That's what I like, right? So, and then when the bold chick comes and speaks to me, man, it's going to be a conversation, especially if she piques my interest. If I'm not really interested, which happens often, you know, if I'm not really interested, then I'm not going to make the conversation very interesting, right? Now, she might be the type that is going to still try to, you know, do her best to keep the conversation going, even though it's obvious, at least I think it's obvious, that I'm uninterested. She might try to keep the conversation going. But for the chick that I am interested in, that's bold enough to come and speak to me, hey man, this is going to be a conversation unlike any conversation she's ever had in this club. Because, you know, as Sinful to Pete taught y'all, when a man's manhood is alive, he's brain dead, right? So most of the guys in there is brain dead. They not coming in there to have an interesting conversation. It's just getting straight to the point. So the pimping, we just have a way of, you know, taking over the conversation in a smooth way, you know, not in an aggressive way, but just in a smooth yet assertive way. Pimpin' just know how to direct the conversation the way he wants it to go, you know, and she might approach him even though she's attracted to him and she think he the flyest thing in the building. You know, she might not know nothing about no pimping, so she probably thinking that she gonna get him get him to give a lap dance with her, but yet it's gonna please her at the same time, because to her he's some eye candy. But she might approach him thinking that, but again, we have a way of directing the conversation the way that we want to go. So naturally, you know, if she's a feminine woman, if she's a lady with class and in tune with her femininity, she gonna naturally follow the pimping where the conversation is going, especially when he's, you know, making certain observations and pointing things out to her about herself that the average, you know, trick ain't gonna pay attention to in there. You know, the average guy in a strip club, he's not really paying attention to certain details with a woman the way that the pimping is, right? So the pimping might compliment her about something that ain't no guy in there ever took notice to. And it's gonna catch her off like, oh, really? Like, you know, she gonna almost be in disbelief, right? So, and then the conversation is gonna go from there. And again, like I say, the pimping is gonna, you know, direct the conversation and lead it in a place where she's never been with a guy in the club before, as far as the conversation goes, right? And see, this is going to lead to exchanging information. A lot of times, you know, the chick might want to meet up with the ism after the club is over with. And then from there, you know, you might end up having you something. You know, this is how it goes with the pimping most of the time, right? So, and this is how it's gone with me in some cases, even though I'm not a real heavy strip club campaigner, but I have had some success in the strip club though. So I can speak from a place of experience as far as, you know, being able to come in there with strictly pimp tools, strictly pimp measures, and being successful without throwing $1 on the stage, without paying for one dance, or without paying to get into the VIP section, and still, you know, coming up with something in there. You dig? And, you know, just a bonus, right? Hey, man, this is why it's imperative to take care of yourself a certain way, because the fact that I work out and my clothes fit me differently than the average individual in there, you know, most tricks ain't coming in the club with a body like Freeze, man. Just got to keep that shit all the way 100, you dig? They not coming in there built like Freeze. So just imagine a woman been in the club all day. She might have been in the club 6, 7, 8 hours, maybe even 10 or 12 hours, right? And she been dancing on, you know, old, fat, sloppy guys, you know, a lot of them with bad hygiene. A lot of them is just unpleasant to talk to and deal with. You know, a lot of them just expecting a whole lot of something for a whole lot of nothing in terms of money, you know, in exchange for pleasure. They, you know, they expecting a whole lot for a whole little. She been dealing with this all day. Then this guy come in there with a cold ass body. He's speaking with his appearance before he even get a chance to speak with his mouth. And she like, God, oh, damn, I gotta go say something to him. He fine as hell, you know? And the first thing on her mind might be intimacy, you know, getting her world rocked in the bedroom. But again, this, like I say, the catching come before the hanging. That's one way that a pimp might catch the broad before he can hang the broad with some game. I'm telling you, man, and you know, I can't lie. It just feels great. It's a great feeling, man, when chicks distinguish you in that way, when they see you in the club and be like, damn. You know what I mean? When you become the eye candy, because they used to be in the eye candy all day, every day. But when a pimp come in there and you the eye candy, not just wearing fly clothes, but you know what I mean? You really make the tailors work look real good. You know what I mean? Because when you got an average build and you get tailored up, that's cool, man. But it's just something about being muscle bound. RD know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Sucker repellent know what I'm talking about. You dig? And if y'all was at Sinful's memorial service, man, and you seen RD and you seen Sucker Repellent, man, and you seen the way that them suits was fitting those gentlemen, man, you know what I'm talking about. You dig? But yeah, man, it's just a different feeling. Like I said, this is some bonus game, man. But for those of y'all that especially if you got good genetics, man, because some of y'all got good genetics and you just be bullshitting on it. But that's a whole nother conversation, man. But hey, I just got to point that out there. It's a beautiful thing when your body is right as a man and you going into the strip club, right? And you something to see. You dig? Because you got women that'll say bullshit like, oh, I like my man to have a little belly. I like my man to be a little chubby. I don't want no man that's all hard and you know, when I go to touch him, he just hard. That's a bunch of bullshit, man. You know, now women have their different preferences. Some women like a big, swole ass, muscle bound ass guy. And, you know, some women like a slim, cut up guy. They don't want the guy with all the muscles and all that. They just want somebody that, you know, is fit and toned up but slim, you know. To each their own. Everybody got their different preferences. That's just like guys, you know. Some guys like the super thick, big booty women, you know what I mean? And then some guys like the slim, thick women that's, you know, kind of slim, but, you know, they thick in the right places. And then you got guys that just like petite women. That's, you know, just petite all over. You dig? Women are the same way. And you know, you have, just like you have your exception of guys, they're the minority though. But you got your exception that likes the BBWs, you dig? So on the same token, you have some women that like the big guys, you know? But I'm talking about the majority. The majority, man, you know, they like somebody that's in shape, you know, because they don't want to be in the bedroom and, you know, dude running out of gas and he breathing hard and, you know, he's sweating and because he eat a lot of bullshit and he smoke and drink and all that. When he sweat, it stank. You know what I mean? Nah, man. Hey, it's a beautiful thing when you take care of yourself a certain type of way, man. And even when you do perspire, it ain't just funky. You dig? Now, anybody, any woman and any man just about on the planet, when you sweat, it's going to be a little tart. But y'all know what I'm talking about, man. And for those of y'all that ain't taking care of yourselves, man, if you be 100 about it, you know that when you perspire because of all that toxic bullshit that you put in your body, hey, it's unpleasant to the nose, man. And, you know, y'all know what I'm talking about. You dig? So, yeah, man, that's just a bonus, right? But for some pimping, you don't have to, you know, be in shape or fit to go in there and have your way in that strip club, because the most important thing is what's coming out of your mind and therefore coming out of your mouth. That's the most important thing, you dig? Hey, listen, man, you mean to tell me it's 192 of y'all up in here, but only 123 of y'all done wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain? Do a pimp a favor. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button, that thing that look like that. Yeah, man. Y'all funny in the comment section. Mark the Shark say, drink hibiscus in the day so you won't perspire and smell expired. I heard that, man. I ain't mad at that. Hold on. Let me hydrate my game one more time, put some more love in my body. And, again, like I said to the squares, man, this game that I'm talking about that the pimping goes into the strip club with is not for you because, again, the pimping in the square has different objectives going into the club, right? But that game that I just dropped about being in shape and taking care of your body, whether you big and swole or you slim and chiseled and cut up and got the washboard abs and all that and the chiseled arms and chest and shoulders and all that. But just, you taking care of yourself and it's obvious by your appearance. Hey, that game really applies to any man. You dig? Ain't nothing like being in shape, man. Especially when you walk into that strip club and you got all these women that's like egotistical and, treating guys like tricks. And because they know that everybody is putting them on a pedestal, but then you walk in and all of a sudden they putting you on a pedestal. Hey, man, that go for any man, man. It's a beautiful feeling. Tyler, as always, good looking with the $2 holla. Come on, let's get them likes up. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, man, but Mac O says, you ever used the broad to catch a broad in the strip club? Me, myself, no. Right? But on the same token, though, even though that's not something that I do, I can't say that ain't pimping. Because, again, this is something that the average individual is not going to do, is not capable of doing the way that the pimping is, right? And see, to use your broad to knock a broad in the strip club, she's really an extension of you. She's a representation and a reflection of you. So I'm not going to say that that's not, a pimp tool or a pimp measure, right? Yeah, that's definitely something that the pimping does. And I've seen cats do that and have success with that. But, that's no different from, whether your game is down on the track or she might be in a casino and, she's, campaigning and speaking on behalf of your pimping to other chicks that way. You dig? Even though and somebody, I forgot who it was that said that, but somebody had mentioned that I could turn this into a series, and I just might, because as I'm talking about this, I'm thinking about campaigning on the blade, campaigning on the internet, campaigning, in a casino, and I really should turn this into a series because it's just certain things that's coming to mind. but I want to save it for those other episodes. But yeah, nah, that's some pimping. You did. Because it's really kind of especially if your broad is like on point, which she should be, you know, if she's looking good and she's feeling good and she just got a certain type of aura about herself, and you know she's crediting all of this to your pimping to another woman. Yeah, you know that's a good look. I can't even front. So like I said, I don't really do that. But that's definitely some pimping though. Yeah. Q-Max say definitely make this a series. BC say this is episode 1. Yeah, because like I said, man, it's just certain things that's coming to mind, and I wanna give it to you so bad, but I'm thinking like, nah, because that is something that applies to this area and doesn't apply to the strip club. I'ma save that. You dig? Yeah, I'ma save it. What topics of conversation do you have with a bitch in the strip club? Passport P's. See, I don't have like a textbook approach. I like playing by ear, and I like improvising, and I like being spontaneous. And, you know, everybody is different, you know, and I like tailor making conversations specifically to the individual that I'm talking to, right? Like I just mentioned about, you know, paying attention to her in ways that the average guy in the club ain't gonna pay attention to her, and making notice of certain things about her that the average guy is gonna overlook, right? Everybody is gonna be different in that regard because every woman has uniquely different things about them. So on the same token, as far as what the conversation is gonna be about, you know, it depends. But, you know, I mentioned how, you know, a woman would approach me, but there's instances where I might approach a woman in the strip club. But again, as Sinful taught y'all, I'm going to observe and stay preserved until I see who deserves my time. And, you know, there's been instances where I might see a chick moving in the club and she's really trying to make certain things happen, but she just doesn't have the game for it, right? And I could see the potential in her. So, you know, I might drop a little tidbit of free game and then just step back. And she might try to use that free game and it'll help her out a little bit. She could see the promise in it, and then she'll come back and say something to me like, you know what you told me to do, I did it and it worked. I got 2 guys to give me a dance since you told me that. And then, you know, that'll spark her interest, especially depending on how you respond after that. If you give her some more of your if you just, as Sinful to Peace say, let her take a safari through your mind, then, you know, it'll pique her interest that much more. And she'll be thinking to herself like, damn, if he was able to, within a few minutes, notice something that I was lacking in and help me with that, and it worked, imagine what else he can do if I took the time to get to know him and, you know, see what he got to offer, right? So again, like I said, the conversation, the topic is going to be dependent upon what type of young lady it is. You dig? My brother in the building, 6'6" E. What's up with you, bro? Love you, man. Yeah. Should a P campaign in the gym? If that's your thing, then, you know, go right ahead. To be honest with you, me, I don't really campaign in the gym. I ain't gonna front. I be in the zone when I be in the gym, man. And it's, you know what's so funny? When I'm in the gym, I usually be in such a zone that I don't even notice the action I be having, but I be having action though. And the way that I know I be having action is because when I go work out with other people, they'll notice the action. And they'll tell me like, yeah, P, oh girl over there on the on the pull down machine, man, she was over there checking you out. Or oh girl over there on the treadmill, man, she couldn't keep her eyes off you. You know, I don't be noticing that shit because again, I be in the zone. When I go in the gym, I'm going in there to get my issue. I put my music on in my earbuds and, you know, I just zone out and I just get to it. You dig? But for somebody who does campaign in the gym, yeah. The gym, like I say, the gym is probably the best place to campaign, right? Because I talked about this the other day, but campaigning in the gym, you know that whatever woman that you meet in the gym, especially like if you go to the same gym on a regular basis or even the same few gyms, but basically if you're a regular at a particular gym and it's other chicks that's regulars there and you might be shooting your shot at other, you know, regular females at the gym, one thing you know about a chick that regularly goes to the gym is that she, to some extent, she got her shit together. She not no bum. She not no vagabond. She has consistency about herself to consistently go to the gym on a regular basis. So on the same token, whatever she's doing for money, she's consistent with that as well. Whether it's a 9-to-5 or she got her own business, she an entrepreneur, whatever the case may be, she's showing with her consistency in the gym that she has to be consistent when it comes to getting money, right? And she also has to have a degree of self-discipline about herself to consistently go to the gym, right? Because those of us who go to the gym on a regular basis, you know, it's a lot of days where you might not want to go, but you make your feelings of not wanting to go subordinate to what's important, which is going. You know, your feelings is going to take a back seat to what's important. It's important for me to go to the gym right now. So even though I don't feel like it, I'm going to put them feelings of not feeling like it to the back and I'm going to take my ass to the gym, right? So for a woman that goes to the gym on a regular basis, she definitely going to have that about her. And depending on the degree of her fitness, you know that she's eating right, so she's taking care of herself a certain type of way, so she's healthy, right, physically. So yeah, man, it's a lot of good qualities that's gonna come with a chick that goes to the gym on a regular basis. So if you can knock something in the gym, then shit, by all means, that's probably the best place to knock something, right? So yeah, I you know, if you feel like you got action in the gym, then shit, by all means, man, make it happen. You did. Yeah, but like I said, I've never that's just never been my thing because again, when I be in the gym, I be in the zone. But you know what's funny? Like when I talk to different dudes in the gym, cause like the gyms that I go to on a regular basis, it's certain people, cause you go there all the time. You meet different people. Like it's certain chicks that I speak to on a regular basis when I go to the gym, and there's certain guys that I speak to on a regular basis when I go to the gym. And you know, a lot of the square dudes that I be chopping it up with, man, they be telling me all these stories about all these different chicks in the gym that they done smashed and shit like that, and how easy it is to smash chicks at the gym. And I wouldn't know, you know, first of all, because I'm not in the gym to smash chicks, but even getting far enough to find that type of interest level about a chick, I just never do, like I said, because I just be in such a zone working out, right? First down said, "Freeze, you whiter than that table. You can't be missed." Okay, I see the Instagram live has ended. So I would imagine some of those Instagram people about to shoot over here now. If you just now getting over here from IG, welcome. That kid Gio says, "AP, what's the best way to campaign at a square coworker? I know she feeling my game, but she try to keep it on a work type of vibe." I don't know what kind of work that y'all doing, what type of business y'all in, or whatever the case may be, or what type of setting it is. But if you think about it from her perspective, it sounds like she might be digging you, because you said, "I know she feeling me." She might be thinking about, whether or not her taking it to the next level with you is going to compromise the gig, or she might be a very private person. She probably don't want other coworkers in y'all's business if she do make anything happen with you. You never know. She might have had a bad experience before doing something like that, messing with a coworker and it went bad. And you can just imagine the millions of different ways that it can go bad with a coworker at your job. It might become very uncomfortable. Y'all might get into it, and then, you still got to see each other every day when you work together. That coworker might have told somebody else what she had going on with him, and that might have caused some issues. You just never know, like, what her experience might be. You dig? So you got to figure out a way to make it make sense to her, right? If you feeling her and you've already established undoubtedly that she's feeling you, you got to make it make sense to her. You got to put her in a frame of mind where, she's not worried about how it can go wrong, and she's more focused on how it's going to go right. You dig? You might have to campaign to her in a certain type of way, as we say in the game, directly but indirectly let her know that, she don't have to worry about certain things when it come to you, right? So yeah, that's what I would do. I would just figure out a game plan on how to put her mind at ease, because she apprehensive for a reason. If she feeling you, her apprehension got to have something to do with the workplace, something to do with the fact that y'all coworkers. Because if y'all met at the grocery store, you probably would have been moved forward with each other by now. If y'all met at the laundromat or something like that, or the club, or the mall or something like that, y'all would have been moved forward by now. But the apprehension has to have something to do with the workplace. So you got to figure out what that is, and then put her mind at ease, and then you're going to be able to have your way. So that's what I say. Q-Max say, if they smashing gym chicks, just imagine how many turnouts you'll get out that gym. And it's funny you say that, man, because, hey, this is what I do know, right? And see, I just been this way for so long. That's why I don't, I'm a creature of habit when it comes to a lot of things, right? So because I've been this way for so long in the gym, it's just like I'm just programmed to not, go there to campaign, really. I mean, in a certain sense, I am campaigning because I make sure that, I'm looking good and, my presentation is on point and all of that. But far as like really actively shooting my shot at different chicks, I don't really be on that. But what I do know is, especially in 2025, a lot of them chicks that go to the gym are content creators. You dig? A lot of them chicks especially the super bad ones. You know what I mean? A lot of them is OnlyFans creators and P Hub creators, and they on they bound chicka wow wow. You know what I mean? So they kind of in the, or they might work at the strip club. Speaking of, you dig? So to a certain extent, one way or another, a lot of them chicks that's in the gym are also in the adult pleasure industry, if you will, right? The sex work industry. So a lot of them kind of already got a pinky toe in the water, you know what I mean? And they just wait for somebody to give them a reason to dive all the way on in with this game, you dig? So really the gym is definitely, as I think about it more and more, that's one of the best places to campaign at, for real. You dig? Now, just like how I was talking about in the strip club, the stripper approaching you as a client, on the same token, when you meet some of them OnlyFans chicks or them P-Star chicks, they might look at you as somebody to do content with. They might want to do content with you. You know what I mean? Pimping ain't on the content tip though. You dig? You know what I mean? The revolution will not be televised with the pimping, man. We not televising, them type of activities. So yeah, man. But again, if you catch them with that type of thing in mind, it's on you to hang them with some game. So, but yeah, the gym definitely can be a prosperous place for a pimp. The Kid Gio say for sure appreciate that game, man. Everybody make sure you put that love in your body, man. For sure, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, see, correct vision 5 times is kind of like me, and we've had conversations about that before, you and me. The gym is sanctuary and peace, and I'm only there to build my body and mind. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, man. Like I said, I'm a creature of habit, and I've been that way for a long time with the gym, man. If I was to be real, if I was to knock something in the gym, it would have to be something that was just aggressively after me. She would have to aggressively be trying to, get with a pimp for it to go that way. Freeze, where do you think the best strip clubs in the country are in 2025? Passport Peas says. I know things change over time, so my assessment of that might be outdated because shit in the past like almost 4 years, I haven't been very much of a club goer, right? But just based on what I do know, I would say Texas and Florida has the best strip clubs. That's just my assessment of it. Again, like I said, I know things change, but I would say Texas, Florida, and I want to say Vegas, but again, my information is so outdated. I ain't been to a club in Vegas in so long. Shit. I'm trying to remember last time I went to a club in Vegas. I can't even remember, man. So my Vegas information is for sure outdated. Gio say, F the strip club, hit the Whole Foods or Texas. I think you meant to say in Texas. But yeah, hey, Whole Foods be having some good eye candy up in there too, you dig? That you might want to shoot your shot at. CJ say Tootsie's. Yeah, Tootsie's is definitely they always been one of the top clubs. For sure. But yeah, man. Houston and Miami got them on Smash. You know, a lot of people speak about Atlanta, but I've never really done my thing in Atlanta. I've never really spent no time in Atlanta. You know, it's just never been a place that, as far as the game goes. Atlanta has never been a place that I just was like, ooh, I got to go pimp in Atlanta. You know what I mean? I just never looked at Atlanta like that. But as far as strip clubs, I know people talk a lot about Atlanta. And I know if you was to ask rappers, the rappers will probably say Atlanta got the best strip clubs. But I wouldn't know from experience because I've never been in a strip club in Atlanta. I've been to one for sure, maybe two. Now, you know, I think I've been to like 2 strip clubs in Columbia, Georgia. But as me and Sinful used to joke about, man, you know, them clubs in Columbus, Georgia, my bad, I'm saying Columbia. The clubs in Columbus, Georgia ain't nothing to talk to a pimp about, man. So, yeah, them Columbus clubs ain't really hitting on much. But, you know, you can always find a diamond in the rough, though, as far as knocking something. But as far as getting some money, though, yeah, Columbus ain't it. I don't see it. Or if they do have some clubs that's beneficial and profitable, I ain't been, and I'm not aware of them. You dig? Correct Vision 5 times say Atlanta is not it. Yeah, P, I ain't never Atlanta ain't never really appealed to me like that. Jack Thrill says, I wonder how Freeze feel about the game right now. Hey, and shout out 905 Dream. I see you up in here, man. You was the one that inspired this live stream, man. I appreciate you for putting the thought on my mind, man. Shout out to 905 Dream. Is there any place that's better to kick it in the club, like standing on the wall, sitting at the bar, etc.? Well, for the pimping, I'm glad you asked that question. For the pimping, we not sitting at the stage. At least I'm not. Other people might. Again, like I said, you know, I don't want to do anything to present myself to the ladies in the club as a trick. I don't want them to mistake me for a trick in no kind of way, right? So with that being said, pimping ain't going to sit right up on the stage because they expecting you to throw money when you sit on the stage. And I ain't gonna lie, I remember one time, man, it's funny, it reminded me of this before I got in the game though, right? When I was like a fresh 18 years old, man, me and my partners that I went to school with back then, we went to the Barbary Coast in Gardena, you know what I mean? Shout out to the Barbary Coast. We went to the Barbary Coast in Gardena, and I'm trying to think. I think it was my first time going to a strip club, but for some reason I want to say they had been before because I know it wasn't my idea to sit on the stage, but they wanted to sit like right up on the stage, right? But you know, we 18 years old, I think we might have even still been in high school. Nah, I don't know, but we was 18 years old, that's what I do know. And we sitting right up on the stage, man, and you know, so we really didn't have no money like that. When I was fresh 18, man, I was working at Target, the only square job I ever had in my life, and you know, I'm coming in there with on a Target budget, which ain't shit. You know what I mean? I think I was making like $6.35 or something like that, $6.15. I was making $6 and some change an hour. You know what I mean? Which sound crazy in today's times, but if you factor in inflation, you know, that was a little bit above a minimum wage at that time. Minimum wage, I think, was like $5.75 at that time. So I wasn't making shit. So, you know, even if I was the type of guy to throw money on the stage, well, I was a square at that time. I definitely didn't have it. You know what I mean? And neither did my partners. It was like me and two of my homeboys. So they want to sit right up on the stage, man. Hey, do you know them bitches in the club roasted the shit out of us, man? Broke ass niggas sitting up on the stage. They was talking shit. You know what I mean? For anybody from California who'd have been to the Barbary Coast, man, you know Barbary Coast is in the hood. So them chicks in the club, you know what I mean, 9 times out of 10, them chicks that work at the coast, man, at the Barbary Coast, they kind of hood. They kind of rough around the edges, man, so they going to talk shit. You know? They was mad as hell that we was sitting up by the stage, man, and not throwing no money, man. They roasted the shit out of us. That shit was funny as hell, man. But yeah, man, pimping ain't sitting up on the stage because there's an expectation for you to throw money on the stage when you sit up on the stage. So, you know, pimping ain't doing that. You dig? But at the same time, I will say this because depending on, you know, every club is set up different, right? So if it's a big club, you don't want to sit like where you're not going to be seen. You don't want to sit like off in the corner or way in the back you know, it's already dark in there. You don't want to sit like somewhere that, you know, chicks ain't going to really see you because you kind of hidden. Me, myself, in most cases, I'm going to go stand by the bar. But if it's a club where they have seats that's not up on the stage, of course, but I could be seen, it's like a heavy traffic area where, you know, the girls is going to be constantly passing by, I'll do that. You know what I mean? I get a drink and have a seat right there like that. You know what I mean? But in a lot of it all depends, like I said, because every club is set up different. You know, some clubs are small, some clubs are big. You dig? So me, whatever the case, but what you want to keep in mind is that you're not going to sit up on the stage and you want to be somewhere, whether you standing or sitting, that you could be seen. You dig? So, yeah. Yeah, a lot of cases, though, especially like a smaller club, I'm gonna just post up by the bar. So, yeah. Give some acknowledgments right quick. Sucker repelling, good looking with the $5 holla. Hey now, am I late to the function? Good evening to everyone in the room, and blessings to you, Freeze, and always R.I.P. to the one and only Sinful to P. Good looking, bro. I was giving you and RD a compliment, man. I was talking earlier, Sucker repelling, about the benefits of being in shape and going into the strip club as somebody that's in shape, especially when you got clothes on that accent and compliment your body. Hey, man, I was talking about going into the club as a guy like that and the type of response that you get from the strippers, man. And I used you and RD as an example. I was letting people know, man, you know, for those of y'all that was at Sinful's memorial, man, if you seen RD and you seen Sucker repellent and you seen the way them suits was fitting them, you know what I mean? They y'all know what I'm talking about. You dig? But yeah, man, making the game look good. Jack Mack, good looking with the $2 holla. Have you been to strip clubs in Tampa before? I've only been to a strip club in Tampa one time, and that was I had a chick that worked there, right? Like I had knocked this chick, right? I knocked her in Miami, but she had came to Miami from Tampa. So she was already hired at this club in Tampa, right? So she had, I can't remember if it was a traffic ticket or something. She had like a case. She had a court date in Tampa. So, you know, I took her out there to go to her court date. And since we was in town the night before her court date, she went and worked at the club. So I had went up in there, but I didn't like campaign. I wasn't even in there that long. I just like kind of poked my head in there for a few minutes. And so I don't really have no experience with the Tampa strip clubs, but I have heard that the Tampa clubs is good though. Sin City 16702. Good looking with the $2 holla. Why you don't be in Vegas as much as you did before? Vegas, Vegas don't have that same appeal to me like it used to, man. And then this is what I see. Vegas just used to be a lot more fun when it was actual hoes down. And when I say hoes, I mean chicks that was really out there, and their objective was to come out there. Their primary objective for coming to the Strip, the Las Vegas Strip, was to get money. So they did everything within their power to get money. Their presentation was together. Their hair was right. Their nails was right. Their makeup was right. They dress code was right. Their shoe game was right. If you on the Strip in Vegas right now, and this was the majority, I'm talking about back in the days, the majority of the chicks that you would see on the Las Vegas Strip, they'll be, their presentation will be right. But now in 2025, I guarantee you, if you're on the Las Vegas Strip right now, what you are seeing is a bunch of dusty ass, dirty feet, ashy knuckles, ashy elbows, crusty lip, hairy arm, hairy leg, shit talking, disrespectful, high out of their mind or drunk out of their mind, ready to fight, putting it on the dead homies, ass bitches. This is this is the majority of what's in Vegas on the Strip right now, man. Whenever I do go to Vegas, man, to be real, I don't even when I go to the Strip, I don't even talk to bras really. I don't even shoot my shot really to bras, because most of the chicks that's on the Strip in Vegas, if you try to pop pimping at them, it's going to cause a problem. They're going to try to call security on you and get you kicked out the casino or get you arrested. They going to say something disrespectful to you, and they're going to try to do their best to provoke you to do something to them. It's a high probability of it turning into a situation that you don't want to be involved in, campaigning on that Las Vegas Strip in Vegas, man, especially for a classy, smooth pimp, man. Nah, I'm cool, man. It ain't as fun as it used to be. And then not just that, but I'll be real with you, man. I'll be kind of scared on that Strip, man, because, everybody on the internet know me now. When I was living in Vegas back in the day, or even before I got, well known on the internet like I am now, I was well known in the streets, but I didn't have no problem with that. It was different, but now I just be feeling like the target on my back is much larger than it was. Just as a black man for one and a pimp for two, it's a target on your back regardless. But I just feel like it's a big ass bullseye, you know what I mean, on my back when I'm on that Strip in Vegas. I don't even be feeling comfortable. Last year when the Super Bowl was in Vegas, I was walking the Strip, and that was the first time I did that in years. Like that, I ain't walked the Strip like that in years. And we was really walking the Strip too. Like me, P Wine, and Rail, man, we was putting in some footwork. But it was fun though. But that's I was having fun, because it was a Super Bowl, so it's bringing everybody to the town. So cats that you ain't seen in years, you running into them. It was fun in that regard. But as far as like campaigning, I wasn't even saying nothing to nobody for real. I wasn't even trying to knock nothing or none of that. You dig? So yeah. But Vegas can still be cool though. Vegas can still be cool. And there's been some times within the past few years that I'll go to Vegas, but I just don't go outside. You know what I mean? I'll go to the gym and that's about it. You dig? So DeBell, my loved one, good looking with the $2 holla. Speak on the hate of P getting the strip club from the haters. Oh, man. Hey, that's a good one. Man, DeBell, I'm glad you didn't let me forget that because I almost could have forgot. I almost would have not went into that because I was probably going to end this joint soon. But before we go, I definitely got to touch on that, man. Hey, that's one thing you got to be careful about as a P campaigning in the club as well, man, is the haters, right? See, you got to be careful who you let the cat out the bag with. Because, see, this is one thing about a lot of P's, right? You know, a lot of P's have this thing where, shit, I ain't going to deny my pimping. If a bitch asks me if I'm pimping, hell yeah, I'm pimping, bitch. Woo, woo, woo. But that's not always a wise thing to do in any case, but especially in a strip club because, you know, you be having haters in there. Sometimes the doorman might be a hater. Sometimes the bartender might be a hater. But in probably the majority of cases, in most cases, when you have a hater in the strip club, it's a broad. It's a female, right? Now, I'll tell you a proper way to deal with a hater in the strip club, and I'll tell you the wrong way to deal with a hater in the strip club, right? Now, this is the wrong way first, right? Me and my partner, we in a strip club one time, and we sitting at the bar, chilling, and this chick comes up, and I want to say she asked me first. I think she asked me first, was I a pimp? And I just didn't say nothing to her. I just looked at her, but then looked the other way, and I didn't say nothing to her. And then she went to my partner, who was sitting right next to me, and she said, are you a pimp? What about you? Are you a pimp? And he was like, hell yeah, I'm a pimp. I've been pimping since I was 17 years old. I've been pimping this, and I did this pimping. He just like really got the blast of their ear off with the shit, right? So, and mind you, this is a club that he and I had been to quite often, right? And he was more familiar at that club than I was. Like, he was cool with the dude at the door and all that. And everybody in the club pretty much knew what it was, but this was the first time that somebody like really hated on us, right? So, and I think that's why my partner got at her the way that he did, because he was too comfortable in there. But nonetheless, he clearly and adamantly let her know that it was pimping, right? So, and this is a small club. So the manager of the club is a woman, and she's standing by the entrance, which is like 10 feet away from where we sitting. So, when he said that to her, she immediately turned around and went to the manager. And mind you, we wasn't even getting at this chick. We hadn't said, and she wasn't a bad looking chick. She was a cute little red bone, but neither of us had said anything to her ever. You know, she had been at that club for a little while, and neither of us had said anything to her ever, right? So, she go to the manager lady at the by the entrance and let the lady know, like, yeah, these two guys sitting right there at the bar. We see her pointing at us to the manager, and she like, yeah, they in here trying to recruit girls. They some pimps, and they tried to recruit me, and you know, just on some bullshit. So, the manager goes to the doorman, which is cool with my partner who I'm with, and tells him to kick us out. So the doorman, and I knew him too. He was familiar with me too, but him and my partner really had like a relationship. Like they had a type of relationship where he'll call my partner and be like, yeah, man, this girl up here just got into it with her pimp, and he dropped her off up here with all her stuff, man, come get her. And he'll come. They had that kind of relationship, him and the doorman, right? They was cool like that. But the doorman was familiar with me, but me and him wasn't cool like that, like the way him and my partner was. So he came and pulled us to the side, and he was like, yeah, man, I really hate to do it, man. I don't want to, if it was just me, if it was up to me, man, I'll let y'all stay up in here, man, but the manager is telling me y'all got to go. So we left up out of there. So that's the wrong way to campaign, right? Because that's why I didn't say nothing to her when she came up to me, because we didn't even have a conversation. Right? And I don't know what it was that pissed her off, but something must have pissed her off. I don't know if maybe I talked to a girl that she didn't want me to talk to, or my partner talked to a girl that she didn't want me to talk to, and or whatever the case was. But yeah, we rubbed her the wrong way, but I didn't even say nothing to her. That's why when she came up and the first thing out of her mouth, it ain't how you doing, it wasn't even you want to dance, or it wasn't none of that. It was like, are you a pimp? First thing out of her mouth. That's why I just looked at her and looked the other way like, bitch, I don't know who the hell you is. What you asking me if I'm a pimp for? Hey, give me one split second. We're going to take I'm talking about less than 30-second intermission. I'll be right back. You dig? Stay right there. If you ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain, please do so now. Hit that like button. I'll be right back. One of them joints right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your ism, right? Play this shit right here, resuscitate your pimping and get you right back on your mission, right? For you hoes, this that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here and spark up your hoeing and get you right back going, you dig? Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches, pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun for fun. They mash for hours, hooker baths, not showers. Bright and early, down and dirty for the cash and power. They gotta get the cash, the towers, and reach it all to a pimp. In my position, I'm all but exempt. These bras not wimps, I'm like them renegade bitches. BFFs with tricks but never getting paid riches. Grenade bitches, they dynamite, blowing up on the pimpin' and missing when the time is right. But when they life gets strife, they see pimpin' shining bright, but they action is life without. Bitch, one strike, you out. Can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Poppin' pimpin', nigga, can't stop, won't stop. Smashing on these bitches, nigga. See, that's the difference, nigga. The pimpin' mashing for these riches, nigga. Nothing like you master. All right, we right back at it. I know that was a little longer than 30 seconds. My bad. Okay, I see y'all got the likes almost looking like the viewers. But listen, it's 241 of y'all up in here. But it's only 229 of y'all that wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain. If you have not done so, please do so now. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button, you dig? Let me see. The Inquisitive Prince, good looking with the $2 holla. How do I increase my vernacular and vocabulary? Exercise and study. I like reading books that stimulate my mind, books that got some game in it, which is all different kinds of books, you dig? But usually books like that have words that you might not be familiar with. That's why, like me, whenever I read a book for the first time, I keep a dictionary right next to me with that while I'm reading that book, because it's common for me to come across words that I might not be familiar with while I'm reading the book. As extensive as y'all may think my vocabulary is, I don't know every word in the English language. So, yeah, I like to keep the dictionary right next to me while I'm reading. So, doing that, or, a lot of times too, I like I like learning synonyms, you know, meaning words, different words that mean the same thing. You know, that's something like I do that when I'm bored sometimes. Sometimes when I'm bored, you know, because I got, you know, this little, show it to you. I got this right here, you know. It's a thesaurus and a dictionary. You know, so sometimes when I'm bored, I'll just go through the thesaurus and look up different synonyms, you know, for different words. Because I like, you know, to express myself in different ways. So, yeah, that's what I would say to increase your vernacular and vocabulary. Do that, man. Read ferociously, you dig? Yeah, I keep the dictionary on deck for sure. Gotta keep one. I used to have like a pocket one. I need to get another one, like just, you know, one that you could carry around and shit, you know what I mean? Keep in the car or something like that, you know what I mean? I just like having a dictionary on me. So, oh yeah, but back to haters in the strip club, right? So I just explained to you the wrong way to deal with haters in the strip club. Now, this is the right way to deal with haters in the strip club. And some of you, especially those of y'all who done been around for years, you might have heard me tell this story at least once, maybe a couple of times, because I know Sinful had me tell the story on his channel before. But, man, again, this is the right way to deal with a hater in the strip club. So, it's me and Sinful. We in downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we are in, I want to say it was Club Deja Vu. I really want to say it was Club Deja Vu. But whatever the case, right, we in the strip club downtown Minneapolis, me and Sinful the P. As usual, we both suited and booted, clean as hell. You know what I mean? I'm the barber, so I got my own haircut super fresh. You know what I mean? Sinful's haircut super fresh. You know, whenever y'all used to see Sinful live, especially when he was in Scottsdale, when he had a fresh cut, 9 times out of 10, Freeze was the one who did it. And y'all probably could remember back, it was times where, you know, Sinful had like a little mini afro going. You know what I mean? Those would be the times where me and him ain't in the same place. You know, I might be cross country or something like that. So if you seen him in Scottsdale with like the little mini afro, man, that's because Freeze wasn't in town. You dig? But yeah, man, we both in the club downtown Minneapolis. We both suited and booted, fresh cut, well groomed, smelling good, all of that, right? And beautiful, gorgeous blonde hair, blue eye, white, pink toe woman. You dig? Face beautiful. She had long, beautiful blonde hair. Body was right. You know what I mean? She was gorgeous. And she came up to Sinful, man, and I think she already had it in mind what it was, right? She already had it in mind that, you know, it was some pimping going on. But, you know, she wanted to try Sinful. And she asked him for a dance, if I'm not mistaken. You know, for any of y'all that might remember the video, man, if you could reference the video to me where I told this story before, please do. Because I might, you know, that was closer to the time back then, years ago, so I might have remembered the story better back, and I ain't told this story in a long time. But if I remember correctly, the chick came up to Sinful and asked him for a dance. And you know, Sinful, witty as hell. So he said something like smart alecky to her, but of course he declined her. But you know, Sinful, he don't just say things like the normal individual says things, right? So he said something to her. there was, I'm sure, like unlike anything she's ever heard before, and she was offended by the way that he declined her, right? So, but again, like I said, I'm already knowing that this is because she knows it's some pimping, and instead of, because really what it was, man, the chick initially was digging on Sinful, right? I already know she was digging on him, but instead of coming like a real 304 supposed to come and just let it be known that, she digging on him and try to figure out what she got to do in order to get with him, she was on some BS. So she did this, right? And she got mad at Sinful. And she was like, you don't know who I am. I run this club. I'm the top girl in here, and I'll get you kicked out. And wooty, 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 whoop. And Sinful was like, I don't really care about none of that. I'm not tripping on that, any of that, in the way that he talks, right? So the girl storms off. And she tried to do some slick shit, but it was so obvious that she was behind this shit. You know what I mean? Now, y'all remember on the scene on Menace to Society when the girl that came was boning, Eilena sent her cousin to the projects to go get at Kane, and he was like, hey, which one of y'all is Kane? And he was like, homie, I don't think you know. And he was like, well, I'm Eilena's cousin partner, and she don't like the way you been dogging her, and I don't neither. You know what I mean? She sent one of her little goons to get at Sinful, right? And she tried to do it in the slick, but it was obvious that the girl had sent this little goon. But the goon was fine too. You know what I mean? The goon that she sent to get at Sinful, another gorgeous blonde hair, blue eyed white girl. But I forgot to mention the first white girl that came at Sinful. Not only was she a blonde hair, blue eyed, gorgeous white girl, but she was tall as hell. You know what I mean? With the heels on, she was probably like 6'4", so she might have been at least 5'10" or 5'11" without the heels, right? So she a tall, gorgeous white girl. But she sent her goon, and her goon is a little short, gorgeous white girl. She probably about like, with the heels on, she about like 5'7" or something like that. So without the heels, she probably about 5'2" or something. But anyway, her little goon come and try to ask Sinful for a dance. And Sinful was like, no thank you or whatever. And she was like, well, why you don't want to dance? And then that made it even more obvious that the first blonde sent this blonde, right? So, she walks off. So then in between her and the next girl walking up, me and Sinful had met this group of guys. It was like 4 white dudes that we start chopping it up with. And it started out with one of the dudes in the group. Him and Sinful started roasting with each other, and it was, I can't lie, the white boy, he was kind of, I don't know why, but he kind of favored him, and the way that he talked, he reminded me of Adam Sandler, right? And he probably wasn't funny as Adam Sandler, but he was funny though, right? But so Sinful and the Adam Sandler lookalike dude, they roasting back and forth, right? And I can't lie, dude was kind of funny, right? Of course, Sinful was funnier, but we ended up being cool with these dudes, and come to find out they had just came in town for a funeral. So we chopping it up with them, right? And while we chopping it up with them, a third goon, a third girl comes and tries to ask Sinful for a dance. And of course he declined the girl, right? So when he declines the second goon, which was the third girl, the first girl comes up. The first girl that had a problem with Sinful, she come up talking shit to Sinful in the midst of us talking to these dudes, right? And she was like, I'm gonna get you kicked out of here right now. Watch this. And she stormed off again, right? So she storms off. And this is why it pays to just, like, the pimpin' just got so much game and so much charisma, man. It was so beautiful the way that this, like, I pay attention to what I'm saying. This is the right way to deal with a hater, right? So the girl, she goes up to the manager of the club and tells him, it was a guy, tells him like, yeah, this guy over here, this black guy in a suit, he won't get no dance, and he's in here trying to pimp girls, and him and his friend, they trying to pimp in here, and they trying to recruit girls, all of this shit, right? So the girl comes back up to us with the manager. Now the manager and Sinful was talking, and he comes with like two big ass security guards too. These security guards look like they could play for the Vikings. You know what I mean? They big as hell. The manager walks up with the two big ass security guards. So, he like, yeah, and I already know. See, this is why I say all the time, man, it pays to speak with your appearance, right? So I already know when the chick walked up and told the security guard that she had this problem with these guys, he's probably thinking in his head like, oh, these are some little hoodlums, you know, shit like that. But when he walked up and he seen the way that me and Sinful was dressed, that immediately began the process of charming and disarming him, right? So he didn't even come up to us aggressively because he seen the way that we was dressed. And he walked up and he introduced himself, shook his hand, shook both of our hand. He like, yeah, what's going on, man? What seems to be the problem? And you know the way Sinful talk, man, he put it on the dude so smoothly and so thick. Pause. You know, the dude, he tells the girl, you know, she can go on about her business. I'll handle this. So he politely dismisses her. And when the girl walked off, he told Sinful, he was like, you know what, man? I don't like that girl neither. You know what I mean? She's always a problem and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. So the manager and Sinful became so cool. The manager gave both of us his business card and said, listen, man, you know, if you guys ever want to come back to this club, man, everything's on me. You know what I mean? So that was I gave y'all the wrong way to deal with a hater in the strip club. That right there is the right way to deal with a hater in the strip club. You know what I mean? Because, you know, the girl, she knew what it was, and she thought that because she was so pretty and according to her, she's the top girl in the club and she make the most money in there. She's like they cash cow, so she got control in there and she can get people kicked out if she want to and all of that. Hey, man, she didn't understand that she wasn't no match for the pimping. Like, bitch, we don't care about none of that. You know, you talking to the pimping. That shit ain't no match for some game. And like I say, this is why it's imperative to speak with your appearance, man. You know, you got a lot of cats. Speaking of Vegas, we was talking about Vegas a minute ago, right? When me and Sinful used to be in Vegas, we were known. We had a reputation for being suited and booted every time you seen us. Every time you seen Sinful or myself, most of the time we was together, but we were always suited and booted. And we had a reputation for this, right? And you had a lot of naysayers. A lot of cats would be like, oh, man, y'all coming with them suits. Y'all gonna draw the wrong attention, man. Y'all asking for a case and whoop and all this other type of shit, right? But these are guys that probably didn't even have a suit in their closet and don't never wear suits, except they probably got a off-the-rack ass suit that they wear to funerals and weddings, you know what I mean? And that's it. But they not dressers. They don't wear suits on a regular basis. They probably ain't never been to a tailor. They probably ain't never had nothing custom made. You dig? So they would always tell us, oh, man, you know, y'all wearing them suits. Y'all going to get a case out here and whoop. Man, the suit has helped more than it has hurt. Let me tell you. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all definitely done heard me tell this story before, but I'll tell it again. Speaking of suits, right, and how beneficial suits are. Let me hydrate my game before I tell you this next story. And we're going to get up out of here after I tell you this story. But if you ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain, please do so now. What I mean by that, hit that like button. Okay, so this is a story of how speaking with your appearance and wearing suits can be beneficial to you, right? One night, Sinful and myself, we walking through the Cosmopolitan Casino in Las Vegas, right? We pushing through the Cosmo, and we're walking towards the valet. We're a little distance from the valet. We by that bar, the first bar that you come to when you're coming from the valet. We're approaching that bar, walking in the direction of the valet, right? So as we're walking that way, this man, an older white man, he comes walking past with a little Latina chick, right? Now when me and Sinful, we strolling, we walking real slow, but they walking faster than us, but they casually strolling, right? They walking and talking towards the valet. So me and Sinful end up stopping right there by that bar, and we standing probably 5 feet away from each other, and we chopping it up, right? So probably about 2 minutes later, mind you, we suited and booted like always. About 2 minutes later, the little Latina chick, she comes speeding past by herself. And the guy that she was walking with, the older white dude, he's speeding, trying to catch up to her. So she walked between me and Sinful, right? And Sinful didn't see the dude on her tail. I seen him though, right? So Sinful didn't see him. So when she came darting past us, Sinful says something to her, like he leaned towards her as she passed and said something to her real quick, right? So when I seen the dude on her tail and I seen what Sinful was doing, I tried to stop him, but it was happening so fast, I didn't move fast enough to stop Sinful. So he say something to the broad, right? So the dude that's on her tail, older white dude, he walks between us after her, and without even looking at Sinful, like say Sinful was this microphone, he come walking past, I'm right here, and he lean over to Sinful and say, "No sweat zone, buddy," and keeps on walking. Now, this is a guy who looks like he doesn't know any rap artists. He doesn't know any rap songs. He looked like he probably listened to Garth Brooks and Keith Urban and, stuff like that. He doesn't look like he's in tune with urban culture at all. That's how his presentation, that's the way he spoke with his appearance. But he come walking past Sinful and say, "No sweat zone, buddy," and keeps on. Verbatim, this is exactly what he said. I'll never forget this shit. "No sweat zone, buddy," and keeps on walking. Didn't even look at him, just linked and did that, right? So when he did that shit, me and Sinful, our hearts just like, we scared to death. Because by this time, it's obvious, man, he's the vice. He them people. You know what I mean? So we spooked. We like, ooh, shit. And I was like, bro, I tried to stop you, man. But so we spooked, right? Because, the vice just made it known that they the vice. But he kept going, though, right? So probably about 10 minutes later, we start walking back towards the strip. And as we're walking towards the strip, there's a bar off to the side that's closed. So the dude that just said that to Sinful, he's standing over there by that bar by himself. And as me and Sinful are walking past, he calls Sinful. He say, "Hey, man." And Sinful look over at him. He say, "Hey, come talk to me for a minute." So Sinful go over there, talk to him. I keep walking, right? They talk for a few minutes. And then when they was done, Sinful came and caught up to me. I walked down the way and waited for him, a ways down the way, like almost to the exit of the Cosmo by the strip. So Sinful catch up to me a few minutes later. I'm like, "Damn, P, what was that about?" He said, the dude told him, he was like, "Look, man, I know who you are. I see you and your partner all the time, man. I know who both of y'all are, but I see you guys are different than most of the other guys around here who, chase girls around and be having their pants hanging off their ass. you know, you and your partner, I know y'all are more classy than the other guys that are usually out here. And he was like, but do me a favor. Sif was like, what's up? He said, when you see me doing my job, don't get in my way. And when I see you doing your job, I won't get in your way. I was like, ooh, man, the power of the suit. You know what I mean? So these same guys in this same city who would always tell Sinful and myself, man, y'all gonna catch a case with them suits on. They not even knowing, you know, in my mind, that one vice officer spoke for a lot of other vice officers. Now, of course, you know what I mean, which I got stories about that too. It's certain vice officers that, boy, the pimping make they blood boil. Any pimp. Anybody living off the earnings in Las Vegas, you know, you got certain vice officers that the pimping, the idea of pimping makes their blood boil. It don't matter how classy you are. You might donate to charity. You might pass out food to the homeless. You might go to church on Sunday and pay tithes. As long as they know that you pimping, they can't stand you, right? But then you have other vice officers like this one who they know what it is, and if you make them do their job, they're going to do it. But at the same time, if you just keep it smooth and below the radar and conduct yourself with class and do your thing, like he said, don't get in my way and I won't get in your way. When he said that shit, I was like, ooh, man, the respect, the power of the suit, you dig? Man, that shit was beautiful. Yeah, Green Eyes was around back then. The time that I'm talking about, Green Eyes was still around. And Pork Chop, he done passed away. But yeah, Pork Chop, all them guys were still around back then. But yeah, man. But yeah, that was a crazy story. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing on up. Y'all already know, man, if you ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain, please do so on your way out. As always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and tapping in with a pimp. I appreciate all the comments, questions, input, jokes, feedback, all that good stuff. I appreciate you for subscribing and hitting the bell when you subscribe. I appreciate all the super chats, the cash apps, the PayPals, all that good stuff, man. Let me see something right quick. But yeah, I appreciate y'all in every which way that you support. And if you out moving around, please do so in a safe fashion. And of course, as always, long live the incomparable Sinful to P. You dig? And we up out of here.